Welcome to the Fragrance Plug, your source for all things scent. Episode 19. We have a packed out show, man. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I hope y'all having a great week. Gotta put the watch on. I forgot to put my watch on. Hope y'all having a great start of the week, man. Let's get into it. We got like 6 new fragrances we got to tap into. Got a new Ex Nihilo that we have to discuss. We have the new John Barbados from the Artisan line. Yes, we got a lot to tap into, fam. Let me know y'all send the days down in the chat and give me a 1 in the chat if everything is good on the audio. If you can hear me on the 1s and 2s, please hit a 1 in the chat so I know that everything is good with the audio. Yeah, man, we about to get into it. Hold on, let me pull the chat up. Man. Hey, it's a good day, man. It's a good day. Anytime we can get in front of the camera and we can get some shit popping, we can talk fragrances, we can talk what we enjoy. It's a great day, man. It is a beautiful day, man. I'm just saying. It's a lot of things to be happy about. My son started his co-op program, homeschooling. Yeah. We met some of the teachers and stuff. Well, he met some of the teachers the other day. Yesterday, me and him talked about it a little bit. It's pretty cool, man. My boy getting big, dog. I'm getting old. I'm getting, I'm getting old, man. 1, so everything good in the chat. All right, bet. That'll work. Joel, my guy. Yes, sir. End of the day, low Paula's Ibiza. Yeah. I see you. I see you. You're tapping in, then out at work. JC is a niche snob. I have my fair exchanges with his takes, but to each their own, I guess. Peace. We'll be back after the watch. Hey, appreciate that, Cap, man. I definitely appreciate you for stopping by, man. Definitely appreciate you for doing that. Look, the Copeland, we're definitely gonna talk about that, man. Justin has some takes about a cologne fragrance. Tapped into the video a little bit just to see if it was worth watching. Yes, we're definitely gonna tap into that. We're gonna react to that as well, so you can expect that. William, I see you, fam. Ex Vetiver down in the chat center today. Yeah. Bo from the what up, Bo? I see you, bruh. I see you, Bo from York. Yeah, New York. I see you down there in the chat. Hey, man, let's get active, man. Let's get active. The first thing I want to go over before we do anything, just got to get it started. And the first thing we're going to go into is combo of the week. Now, look, I got to do better with this because the person that put me on to this combo, they told me this on a Monday or Tuesday, I think early on in the week. I have yet to been able to find that comment. I apologize. I'm going to have to do better. Like when I start seeing these recommendations that y'all put up to let me know what combo or layering combos to wear, I'm going to have to do better with taking screenshots of the ones I'm actually like, yeah, this one right here sound fire. And the one that my boy suggested, I hate I couldn't give you the recommendation and the shout out that you deserve, my brother. I apologize, man. I do apologize. I'm going to do better moving forward. But just know, this combo right here is one that you definitely want to tap into. Make sure you hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's go, man. The first fragrance from this combo is going to be a designer fragrance coming from the Azzaro line, and we are going to be going into Wanted by Night. Now, like I said, this is a combo. This is a layering duo that we have right here, and this is 2 fragrances. So this one right here was very nice. The one thing that I know stood out with this one was that warm spice that you get in the opening. So you get a lot of that spice, and this is one of the spices and those florals as it starts to transition. Those really shine with this one right here. But the second fragrance, and this is one that I know a lot of people have. You will either have this one or you'll have another variation. Ana Abadai, I Am White. One of those. But the second fragrance that goes with the combo of the week is Amber Oud Gold Edition. Take a second, man. Check it out. Amber Oud Gold Edition and Azzaro Wanted by Night. Now, just answer me this, just off of initial impression, just off of first thoughts. Does that sound like a combo that we hit? Now let me tell you, because at first I was kind of like, hold on, you might be onto something here. But then I'm thinking that there's certain facets of the Azaro Wanted that's not really going to be mixing together well with the Amber Ooh Gold Edition. But I'm telling you right now, even with me being in Texas, I wore this the other day, and I got this on right now. This is my scent of the day right now. This is currently on my skin. And the first thing I noticed when I sprayed this on, I did the Azaro Wanted by Night first because I kind of wanted that. I still wanted that masculine, the spices. I wanted that richness, the leather. I wanted that part to be more so of the base. And then I wanted Amber Ooh to kind of be that secondary part. So I layered myself first with the Azaro Wanted by Night, and then I went through and did the same thing with the Amber Ooh Gold Edition. And the things that you get on an individual basis when it comes to both fragrances are the exact same things that you're going to get when you mix it together. The biggest thing that I can say, there is one note particular that just shines over both of these. And it is going to be that fruity pear musk combination that you get in Amber Ooh Gold Edition. This one right here is going to shine a lot more. But then the secondary thing that you do pick up after you get past that pear, that musk combination, is going to be the spices that comes in the Azaro Wanted line. And that right there within itself was more than enough, fam. It was more than enough. More than enough. Because you still get the fruits and you get it's a beautiful fruits that you get. And then as it starts to transition from that pear, the fruits, the musk, you still get a little bit more of that musk. But that's when you start to get a little bit more of like those florals, like the transitions that happen with the Azaro. In between the opening, you're gonna get more of the Amber Ooh Gold Edition. Transition, you're definitely gonna get more of the Azaro Wanted by line. Transition on is gonna be a lot of that Azaro Wanted by Night DNA. Very fire in my opinion, man. I'm telling you right now, if you haven't gotten your nose on it, you need to tap into this one because this is an absolute banger in my eyes, man. I'm telling you right now, you will not be disappointed if you can have these two. If you have these two, and even if you don't, I'm thinking that if you have something like an Amber Ooh Gold Edition, whether it's Amber Ooh Gold Edition, Ana Abadai, I Am White, any fragrance that kind of plays on that drop, that herbal pure DNA, where you mostly have pear, musk, melon, musk, fruits, musk, you get what I'm saying. Something like that, where you have a little bit of like a warm spice, not an overpowering spice. It can't be saffron. If saffron is going to be the main spice, it can't be that. The most you can do is going to be, especially when I'm talking about an earthy spice, you can probably do like some cumin, something like that. But like saffron, maybe not even black pepper. Like it has to be like cardamom forward. It has to be much more so in that fresh, spicy aspect. If you're going to be mixing it with Amber Ooh Gold Edition or a fragrance in this vein, try it. That's all I'm saying. If you haven't tried it, fam, just try this combo. This combo was absolutely amazing. I think when I wore this, I was out and about. I think I did some content, and then I also think that I went to the gym with this. Now I'm not even gonna hold you. I remember getting two compliments with this when I first got to the gym. And it was mainly from two people that I'm always cool with, two brothers, so they was real cool. Like they always tell me when my clones hit and when they not. And they told me this one, it was hidden. So yeah, this fragrance right here can get you compliments for sure. Just try to play on the DNA. Again, you want to focus on the pear and the musk with this. You want to focus on warm or fresh spices, kind of transitioning to like a leather type of dry down. That's much more so what you want with this. I loved it, man. I loved it. Let me know what y'all think down in the chat. Again, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Definitely appreciate it. I gotta know y'all thoughts on that one. Got to, because for me, hey, that was one of them ones right there. This combo right here was one of them ones. I'm not gonna say it's better than the I can't say that it's better than the other combo that I had. I can't say that. What was it? Which one did they put me on? It was a Art of Universe and the Hawaii's Ice. I can't say that it's messing with the Art of Universe and the Hawaii's Ice combo, but it's still good. On its own, it's still good, fam. It's still good. Now, Let's go ahead and make some switches. We're gonna go ahead and dip on over to, where is it at? Boom. Gotta do some reactions, man. We got some wild stuff that's coming out. Got a couple of new fragrances of Ex Nihilo. I did post about some of these in the community tab last week. They have some of these released over the weekend. That's when I found out about them. So I didn't do a live stream on it, but we are going to talk about it today. Let's go ahead. Oh, where's it at? Where's it at? Hold on, where's it at? Oh, here we go. Boy, I'm tripping. Hey, let's get active, man. The daily drop. Daily drop is where we talk all things fragrances. Anything that's new, expecting, upcoming, any news that deals with fragrances. This is where you can find it right here on the daily drop. So make sure you hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And let's get active. Ex Nihilo, we have a blue talisman extract de parfum. Now check this out. We already have the OG, the original. And to be honest, I don't know what much more they could do differently. Like, I've heard that some people said that it was a nice change, like it's a little bit more powerful from what I'm hearing. But as far as it being just a completely different fragrance, I'm not picking that up. In the opening, we have bergamot, ginger, mandarin, pear. In the heart, we have orange blossom and gorglewood, whatever that is. And then in the base, we have a coglewood, musk, and amberfix. Now, from what I remember from like the DNAs that I have, because this one I haven't gotten my nose on, but the DNAs that I do have, I remember there being ginger. I remember there being fruits in the opening. I remember there being that somewhat soapy transition. From what I'm seeing right here, and the orange blossom, from what I'm seeing right here, I'm not really seeing too much that's different than what we had already previously gotten from the original. So, I don't know. It is there. It definitely is there for anybody that wants to check it out. Again, it is online for $435, and that's for 50. Oh no, that's 400. That's 400. But it is there for anybody that is curious to know about that one. The second fragrance that I want to tap into, fam, we got a new Elysium. We got a new Elysium. Elysium Roja Parfums. Yeah, bro. Roja Parfums, Elysium Noir. Let's get into it. Now, this one is an upcoming release. We don't have all the information just yet. It's expected to be releasing around October. The rumored notes that we have right now is going to be bergamot, orange, blackberry, juniper, cardamom, lavender, rose, cypress, frankincense, cypher oil, sandalwood, and leather. Now, the one thing I can say about this is I'm wondering, is this going to be leaning a little bit more dark, kind of in that ebony thing? Because I say that because, one, it has noir on it. So whenever I think of noir, then I think of leather in the dry down. I'm looking at somewhat. So we have some sandalwood in the dry down. We have some leather. We have some frankincense. So it's adding a little bit more of like a earthy aspect to it also. But we do have some things from the original. We still have a little bit of that freshness. Or do remember like a lot of citruses, lemon, lime specifically. But this one I'm seeing bergamot. We have some orange. It still has the cardamom, so we are expecting a little bit more of the DNA. I think that the one thing I'm looking at now is I'm trying to understand what is the noir aspect of it. Is it going to be a lot more leather? Is it going to be leaning in a lot more of a darker aspect of things? That's very much so what I'm seeing and I'm starting to expect from this fragrance. But let me know y'all thoughts down in the comments. I really want to know what y'all think. Is this one going to be it? Because for me personally, the original one was fine. It just didn't perform the best. But now we have this one, another extension from the line Noir. So I definitely want to know y'all thoughts on this one. Again, this one is expected to release in October of 2025. So we still got a few months, but more will be coming out soon, I'm sure. The third fragrance that I want to tap into, we have a new John Barbados, fam. Artisan Forest. Now, one thing I will say about the John Barbados line that I really do enjoy, I love the professional aspect, like the business savvy aspect of John Barbados fragrances. They do a great job when it comes to maintaining whatever type of DNA they want to, but still giving it a very modern, classy, professional twist to it. I love it. So some of the notes that we can be expecting on this, I'm not seeing a release date on this one just yet. I do see that we have some fig leaf. We got some rosemary, gallivanum. So it's looking like a very aromatic filled fragrance in the opening. And with that fig leaf and rosemary, I'm kind of already thinking that this is one that I'm gonna enjoy. Black fig, violet, buchu, and artemisia. Okay, the black fig and the artemisia, and this one really had me interested. The one thing I will say about this is cedarwood, patchouli, amber, masking veteran. Personally, this sounds like a fragrance that I would absolutely love. From the opening to the mid to the dry down, this sounds like everything that I would enjoy in a fragrance. My only issue is this. This fragrance, normally when Dry Barbados dropped, I don't know how much they are, but I'm expecting this one to be a little price. You know what I'm saying? I might have to wait for the rack stores with this one, because it might get a decant, but I might have to wait for the rack stores with this one, because sheesh. You know, these John Barbados fragrances, as nice as I think it is, I'm not always in that professional setting that requires me to wear their style of fragrances. Where you know, like where you would reach for a John Barbados artisan oud, I could reach for a Cerruti 1881 signature. You know what I'm saying? Like where I would reach for one of the Nick Jonas collabs, I could reach for something in the Hawaii line. You know what I'm saying? So it's so much more to where I think that John Barbados somewhat tailors towards like middle age and up. And I'm not in that range yet. Even though I think that this is going to be an absolute banger, I'm not in that range yet to actually be able to fully wear this one and think I'm going to get a full bottles out of it. Like, nah, I can't. I don't know about that one. For the ladies, you know we got to have something for the ladies. Juliet has a gun, Powder Love. Juliet has a gun, the French fragrance founded by Romano Ricci, adds a new addition to its collection with Powder Love, launching in September 2025. Known for combining modern femininity concepts with a rebellious edge, the house continues its exploration of interesting olfactory themes, this time through a powdery gourmand lens. Okay, this is my first time seeing the gourmand. So it says that Powder Love is positioned as a soft, enveloping fragrance that balances sweetness with comfort. Inspired by a dreamlike image of sugar clouds and powdered skin, the composition blends airy gourmand notes with a musky finish. I'm liking this, fam. This sounds like it might be a hit. In the opening, we can be expecting cotton candy and marshmallows already. I don't do the women's. I don't know. In my head, I'm thinking that's going to be very sweet. Extremely sweet. I'm thinking this is gonna be sweet, fam. I'm thinking this is gonna be sweet because you got the cotton candy, then you got some marshmallows. Also, you have sugared almond in the mid. Now I know that almond is always nice when you put it in fragrance. I don't care. It always has like this creamy, nutty appeal to it, so it is nice. But then you have sugared almond at that. That's another layer of sweetness that I don't know if I'm ready for. And then you got orange blossom, tonka bean in the dry down with some ambroxan and powdery musk. One thing I'll say about this, and this is the only reason why I say I'm curious is to know the sweetness level in this, is because I've seen some of the ladies, and I'm not complaining, trust me. I ain't complaining at all, ladies. Do y'all thing. But I've seen some of the combos that ladies wear when they do their thing on their daily basis. Bruh, I'm talking shea butter, oil, body mist, regular lotion, cocoa butter, and then a fragrance, and everything is scented. So when I think of a fragrance that has this much level of sugar to it, I'm very curious to know how long is it going to last? Like, what's the projection on this thing? Like, is it going to be dense? Like, I'm always very curious to know over sugary fragrances like this. And then I want to know from the ladies, like, how does it feel like when y'all are wearing something that's this sweet? Like, the only thing I can think of that's comparable in the man's version is when I overspray Dior Sauvage. Because when I overspray Dior Sauvage, I gotta wash that shit off. I gotta go take a shower. When I overspray Dior Sauvage, I must take a shower. It's gonna be like within the next 3 hours because this is just too overpowering. No date yet for this one, but we do know that it's going to be coming out in September. I think I saw. So that's something that we have there. Got to end it. Got to make sure we have something for the ladies tapped into it. Let's get back into the show. Again, this is Daily Drop. Make sure you hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's get into the chat, man. I do apologize, man. I got to tap into the chat. I've been trying to keep, when I do these early morning shows, I try to keep it as streamlined as possible. You know what I'm saying? I try to keep it on the going. All right, let's see. Santa Rodriguez, what up, my brother? My combo of the week. Oh, Lord. Hold on, fam. Not that one. My combo of the week, Latapa Zanzibar layered with blue oud. Latapa blue oud. Now, look, you know, Santana, you know I rocks with you, fam. But you know how your boy feel about that Zanzibar. You know how I feel about that Zanzibar. Talk to me. What's the showcase? Because if it's the coconut, if it's that salty coconut tropical feel that's shining in Zanzibar, I don't know if I could do this one, fam. Let me know what showcases in this, and then we can talk from there. Because I would love to know it, but I'm telling you, I would love to try it. But if it's much more of the Zanzibar than the blue oud, that one's gonna be a tough one for me, and it's mostly just because of the Zanzibar. Anything with fruits, anything with fruits could be nice with it, but I could put something that would be under the smell by wanted by night. Yeah. I feel that. I feel you on that one, Joel. Hey, you hear my guy? Yeah, loud and clear. Too much money. Oh shit. Hey, it is. It is a lot. What's popping with my man JC in the thumbnail? I thought he was on the stream. Nah, he did a video. We're gonna be doing a little reaction. He did a video yesterday, I think. Didn't tap into too much of it, fam. So we just gonna react to it, see what he said. I know it has something to do with clone fragrances. So we're gonna tap into that also. Let's see. Let's see. Is it me or are these flankers just adding leather and frankincense? Maybe the leather. I will say that this is my first time seeing like a fragrance from a line adding frankincense. I don't not saying that they haven't, but especially with the newer versions, I haven't seen frankincense as a note that's been pushed into too many of the newer fragrances that we can be expecting coming throughout this year. Now, leather, I have seen leather in a couple of them. I have seen leather in a couple of them. If it's regards to his latest content, I wholeheartedly agree with his mindset on clone fragrances. I'm good on buying cheap Middle Eastern dudes. Quality over quantity. My guy, that's what's up. We are definitely going to discuss it. We have a lot to discuss on that. Scent of the day, Latapa Kanjar. Hey, that's a good one, fam. That's a good one. YSLYEDT, scent of the day. Yes, sir. I see you there. I appreciate you for stopping by always, man. I think you're going to love what we talk about, too. I think you're going to love what we talk about when we get to that Justin part. Some So many dirt cheap clones out there that smell great. I'm here for it, man, fam. Look, B.O.B. You know I represent for the B.O.B. As your B.O.B. general, I'm going to make sure I find you them fragrances. Absolute bangers, all gas, no brakes for under $40. That's what we here for. Your fragrance plug going to make sure you take care of. Everyone's fragrance journey is different. Everyone's fragrance journey is different. I love fragrances, but I don't need to own a bottle of everything. I'm most definitely evolving in my experience. Bro, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. Because there's a point to where you really don't need every... Like, you don't need every fragrance that's out there. That's why I don't feel the need to get, like, every God of Fire clone out there. There's no need for me to have 12 clones of one fragrance. Because if it gets to that point, to where I feel the need to have 12 clones of one fragrance, I might as well just go get the OG. Like, think about this, bro. Even if we look at it from a B.O.B. standpoint, most people out here probably buying, like, at least 4 clones. Now, let's look at the 4 clones of, even if we look at it from a standpoint of a B.O.B. safe perspective. 4 clones at $40 a piece, because that's the B.O.B. max. That's still $160 right there, to where that's pretty close to just going to go get the original bottle at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you already know that you like the bottle, you're not blind buying it. 160, like for me, Argos fragrances, especially 30 mls, are like 175. If I'm buying 4 fragrances that are $40 a piece, and I'm thinking to myself, and I like this DNA, I'm really much more so going to lean towards buying that Argos or whatever one that is the OG, compared to wanting to have multiple clones. It's one thing when you have one clone of one fragrance, or even one clone plus one twist of that same fragrance. For instance, Art of the Universe and Tarat the Electrique. Same thing. One's more so like a clone, one is more so like a twist. But at the same time, like, I can see a need to have both of those. But once you add like another one to it, it's like, what is the third one doing better that either the inspiration or the exact clone wasn't doing that made you want to go get this one? Because then it just becomes a habit of wanting to have everything first or wanting to have the newest thing right away compared to, yeah, this probably dope, but I still got this one I got to run through. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Jeremy was talking about it the other day, and we was talking about the trash thing, the trash with the God of Fire, the tropical thing, the Neve conversation he was having, and me and Jeremy had the same sentiments. You know, we understand that some people might have different opinions. Some people might be able to get all 15 of them. Look, we very much so see, like once we have that one, we're there. Like you can't tell Jeremy that Malachite is trash. You can't tell him that. I've smelled Malachite. I can't say that it's trash. Can't do it. So we're gonna talk about it for sure. The fragrance journey has definitely developed and it has matured over time, and I think it's something that is for the better if you can get to that point. I'm rocking with that. I'm rocking with that. Definitely on a slow buy again. Only a couple of frags on my radar. Facts, man. Let me know what's on your radar. I know me. The anything like you kind of gotta. Like, this is how I look at it. You kind of gotta know what line works best for you. Like for instance, anything that Rasasi makes for the Hawass line is a buy. For me, it's an automatic cop. I can blind buy it. I don't care what. It might even be a fragrance store. I might not like it right away. It might take me a little bit of time to get used to it. Like the Hawass Fire. It took me a time to get used to that one. But now I enjoy it. Is it one of my favorite ones from the Hawass line? Absolutely not. I'm not going to say that. But I can wear it. I can enjoy it. I can even see myself getting another bottle. It's that good. Fragrances that are in the Anfar line, 1950 line. These right here. Anfar dropped some, especially with this bottle design. It's a cop. They're 3 for 3 right now with me. That is a cop. Something from the Hayati line with Lattafa. Because you got 3 of them. You got the Phantom clone, you got the Paco Rabanne clone, and then you have another one that's kind of like a 1 million, 1 million Dolce & Gabbana, the one type of twist inspiration. Bruh, I'm telling you, the Bonbon, it's some lines, fragrance lines, where when they drop, you just got to cop. I'm definitely trying to catch back up with all the chat. It's low hanging fruit. It's accessible. I see it. Nautica Intense is on my radar. That's what's up. See, Walt. Now we gotta talk, Walt, because I know you got some. Walt, you got some shit in your collection, my boy. You got some shit. You got some niche shit. You got some indie shit. You got some big dog fragrances in your collection. But you're excited about Nautica Intense. I love that. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, but one thing that I do want to ask is, Walt, where's the new Nautica Intense going to fit in your daily rotation with the fragrances that you do have? That's what I want to know, because you got some shit. I've seen you when you post your scent of the days. You got some shit in your collection, my G. All right, let's slide on over. Move this over here real quick. Let's get into the next portion of the show. I definitely forgot this. And this is something that matter of fact, this is actually perfect. Because this is moving into our next segue that I did want to talk about. This is moving into our next segment that I did want to talk about. Hold on. I don't think I put up a I didn't make one. Okay, give me a sec. I gotta make one. Because I do want to talk about this next part, and it is going to be a little bit more so of the clone fragrances that we're going to be talking about. But one thing that I do want to ask is mass appealing becoming basic? Does mass appeal equal basic when it comes to fragrances? I'm surprised I didn't do that. I could have sworn I did that already. Boom, there we go. Does mass appeal equal basic? This is something that I really want to discuss. And it's crazy that we started like the conversation with how we did, and we're kind of segueing into this. But before we start, man, make sure you hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And let's get active. Is mass appealing becoming basic? Are we getting too consumed with I'm gonna look at what Daryl said, low hanging fruit, and I say that because with a lot of these clone fragrances and these clone brands and companies coming out, there are a lot, bruh. It is getting like shit used to be thick. You know what I'm saying? Like it used to be hard to kind of get some of this stuff. Now it's like it's so saturated that the market is becoming overwhelmed. And at times I see myself grabbing a new fragrance and I'm like, spray it for the first time, blind buying, of course, because it's Middle Eastern, it's affordable, blind buy, and I'm like, damn it, man, this is another Invictus. Or like, damn it, another Baccarat. Damn it, another Creed Aventus. Damn, like, and it's we're continuing to get fragrances that either fall into lines of fragrances that we already have, or just extremely basic but very likable by everybody. I don't know, man. When I think of mass appeal, I think of like the Blue Day Chanels, the shower gels, the aquatics, the fresh fragrances. I think of fun fragrances. I don't really think of anything that's extremely daring or challenging. And I'm kind of curious to know, when are things going to change from the oversaturation and actually start to have like that artisan quality about itself? Let me know. Like I'm checking into the chat right now. Let me know. Let me know, man. You're my guy. Me and we was chopping it up literally about that the Skepta Malachite joint. Let me know though. Okay. Bezos says no. Bezos says no. Mass appeal is not basic. But I don't know, fam. I got my nose right here, man. I don't know. It just seems like everything that we're getting now is some fruits, musk. You got some citruses, a lot of freshness. You gotta have some citruses. If it's the summertime, you gotta have something that's aquatic. Most of the time, it has like a vetiver or a woody leaning dry down that's not really too dark, extremely safe. White woods type of thing, very clean. Springtime, we might get some floral accords in there, but you kind of already know that you can be expecting more aromatics like sage, like some clary sage. Like we're getting a lot of things. Lavender, bro. Lavender is becoming, especially in designers, lavender is becoming that one fragrance note. Even though I love it, it's becoming that one fragrance note that is just. It's almost like if you have a designer and if it's for the spring or the summertime and it doesn't have lavender, it's not going to equal up to like the masses, the likability from everybody, because it's just something about those aromatic accords. Hold on, what we got right here? Whom I'd say no, but I can understand the logic behind it. Okay. Okay. And that's kind of crazy coming from you, Jeremy, because you like those unique fragrances. You like those fragrances that are somewhat like that you just can't go to a Dillard's or a Macy's, something that you have. You kind of like the fragrances the way you kind of got to do a little bit of research on and understand. Like, I don't know. Let me know. That's why I've been sampling before and buying for the most part. Facts. It's a money grab. That's what I'm saying. It's a money grab. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's becoming to where the fragrance market is getting so saturated to where we're really losing the artistry appeal in some fragrances. I got some right here. And I just want to point some out that to me have great artistry. Some of them are going to be a little bit basic, but like, for instance, Afro Leather, Memo Paris. This might be the most basic one out of the four that I showcased, but it's not mass appealing at the same time. Earthy, spicy as hell, and the coming in this really does output a lot of things to where it takes it away from that mass appealing DNA. A lot of leather in this. You got a lot of aromatics as well that plays a big part in this. So this one to me is a absolute banger of a fragrance. But I can't see this one being mass appeal. As much as I personally love this one, I couldn't recommend this fragrance to anybody, especially somebody new getting into it, because you have to be much more so into those masculine fragrances, and you have to be much more so into those earthy fragrances. And it's kind of hard to put somebody new into fragrances onto something like this. But again, this has a lot of facets of it that's not mass appealing. This has that earthy leather aspect of things, very bright somewhat in the opening transition. This one is a little different. This one is extremely different compared to other mass appealing fragrances. Another one, Pacific Cannabis, Backside, California. I ain't even want to spend too much time on this one. Y'all have heard me speak on this one. Cannabis, grapefruit, a very nice driftwood in the dry down. There's really not too much to say on this one, but unique as well. This one right here, and I just found out what this one was cloning. I didn't even know that this one was cloning something as popular as it is. But this one, Vague by Encore 1950. I didn't even know that thing was a Geisa clone. Let me tell you something, boy. I like it. Well, it took me a while to actually get into this one compared to some of the other ones in the pressurized atomizer. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. And this one, again, I didn't know that it was cloning Geisa. It took me a while to actually enjoy this one like I do the other on-fart fragrances. But this one, as beautiful as a fragrance I think it is, this one is gonna be fitting much more so in that fragrance connoisseur line. This is a banger for less than $40. But this doesn't line up in that mass appealing fragrance. And this one does not basic as well. You get a bright, a huge blast like this. I think they call it Divana, but I know it's like a lot of green. It's like a lot of green. Got a little bit of freshness in there as well. Got a lot of oud in this. And a lot of times when you reach into oud, that's when it kind of takes it away from that mass appealing vein. To me, any fragrance that has oud, it automatically loses the mass appealing vein because of the hard woody scent that you get in that fragrance. Another one, King by Fragrance World. This one is extremely sour. Very unique. It has this rhubarb chord in the opening, but it also has peach and mango. And this is one of the only fragrances that I know that has that. And you would think that something like that would be a little bit more, I want to say, even massive or likable with fragrance connoisseur. I feel like I rarely hear people talk about this one. Rhubarb, you got some peach, you got some mango, you got some woods. This is a beautiful fragrance, but it doesn't fit in that mass appealing vein. There isn't a single fragrance on this tray that you tried, even if you tried only Afro leather. Let me know. Give me a 1 or 2 in the chat right now that if it was somebody's first fragrance or they only have a few fragrances in their collection, is this mass appealing? Can you see you recommending Afro leather to a friend that's just getting into fragrances and they enjoy it? 1 or 2 in the chat. Let me know. Last one, Cerruti 1881 Signature. It's going to be in that vein of like an Oud for Greatness fragrance. Another one, extremely beautiful. Extreme woods, oud, earthy spice, black pepper, a lot of spices in this. Off-putting as well for some. Let me know, am I tripping? All of these fragrances, in my opinion, these aren't mass appealing. These are not. These are not. And things that I wonder one, is part of it to blame because of social media? Cause like, let's be honest, bro. Like, let's talk about something. Let's talk about something. Is mass appeal? I mean, is social media the one to blame? Because when you look at TikTok, you look at Instagram, you see fragrance, you see fragrances that are easily likable. You rarely see anything that's really extremely daring that's being pushed. You don't really see fragrances that are high in cannabis, oud, anything like that being pushed. What do you get pushed? The freshness. You get a lot of those citruses. You get a lot of the aquatic. Like a lot of fragrances, when I think of fragrances that get pushed a lot, you really can start with LV. Symphony, Pacific Chill, you know what I'm saying? Le Mystique. Like, it's like when I think of mass appeal, one of the first things that come to mind is Louis Vuitton. Even though the price isn't, but the fragrances, and that translates over back to the social media aspect of things, because even through the social media lens, LV fragrances are pushed a lot. Even if we look at the clones that are being pushed, what are most of them cloning? Aventus, JPG Lamel, all mass appealing DNAs. Let me know if I'm tripping, man. I definitely want to know y'all thoughts. Hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I need to know y'all thoughts on that. Am I tripping? I would be down to know anything different. I think that me personally, yeah, mass appealing is becoming extremely basic. A lot of fragrances that we're getting now are extremely basic. They don't have that same creative juice. Need is dropping some absolutely amazing fragrances that is maintaining that creative inspiration. I just, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Lavender and bergamot and everything, fam. You not lying. Especially when we talk about designers. Lavender and bergamot is in everything. I ain't complaining because I love me some bergamot. I'm kind of basic, but I love me some bergamot. Mason Alhambra Afro leather layers great with Latopalium. Great. Ooh. 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 Let me write that down real quick. Let me write that down. Afro leather. Yeah, that might be a hit right there. Hold on for the. I'm probably gonna have to wait till October to try this one where I'm at, but shit. Hey man. Hey fam. Damn. Shout out to you for the combo play. Shout out to you for the combo play. That's clutch right there. I think that might be a hit. Sit of the day, Rihanna Beast El Rey. My guy. Afro leather smells like a battery. Ooh, the disrespect is real. Ooh. You must got a Tesla or something. I don't know. Got a Tesla or something. Hold on, let me see something. I forgot to turn my phone on. Do not do. There we go. I don't need nobody calling me during this. Okay. Smells like, oh, the first time it was on my nose, came back now. Like, okay, so the sort of respect got back there. Okay, cool. Cool, man. I was like, I see, but that's what I'm saying. It's one of those fragrances to where, just like how I said with Vague, it's hard. It's kind of hard to just recommend that when it's somebody who's just not getting into fragrances because it's not on that exact mass appealing vein. I recently found a few that are different and really good in my opinion. Passion Frond and No Cologne by Fugazi. The No Cologne has a cannabis note, and Passion Frond a more wearable oud maracuja. That's another one. Oud maracuja. That shit's so nice. I like that DNA with that passion fruit, bruh. It is so nice. That is so nice. Hey, I appreciate that, Santana. Thank you. I appreciate y'all, Cart. I see y'all in there with the twos. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure I catch up with everything. That's what my journey has been lately. I've been trying to find more complex DNAs. That's what I'm saying right there. Gotta enjoy the. Hold on, we got one right here. The average consumer doesn't want challenging scents. If we want that, that's what niche and indie is for. I agree. Now my thing is this. What are we talking about? Because the people that watch this are fragrance reviewers. We're fragrance connoisseurs. Regular people, it's regular people aren't buying their fragrances from Joe Shop. They don't know that you can got all these discounted fragrance by CA. A lot of times when people buy their fragrances, they go to a Macy's dealer, some type of mall. They see it in a boutique. They go in and smell things. And when they smell things, is most of the time something that somebody's recommended to them or that they've seen in a commercial. A Blue Day Chanel, a Dior Sauvage, a Creed Aventus type of DNA. Like, so yes, the average consumer doesn't, but we're fragrance connoisseurs. We're people that watch the content and enjoy and that have hundreds of bottles. So I'm trying to figure out when it comes to us, the fragrance community, are we letting things go too much by just accepting these basic mass appealing fragrances that we continue to have different variations of compared to getting something that's a little bit unique or a little bit more daring? Not again, it doesn't have to be. I'm not saying that the fragrance has to be like all oud, anything like that. I'm just asking, can we get something a little bit different? Can we get something maybe a little unique? Just it doesn't have to be the most craziest price, but definitely something other than lavender and bergamot. Like, let's get something different. Let's try something different. That's all I'm thinking. Boom, let's see. Ooh, hey, I got you right here. Nautica Intense will fit my everyday wear for sure, but it will slide in every time. Pause. The Nautica fragrances never last long because I spray 60 times because I love them so much. Okay, that makes sense. 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 Most people hype what other people are hyping. That's why it helps for brands to give content creators free bottles. That is a fact, coach. That is a fact. And it is, I mean, most people are basic. I get it. I get it. It's much more so a conversational piece. That's all. I'm just trying to have a conversational piece right here. And just trying to understand to where I think the more so part of the thing that got me with this conversation was it's not really the mass appealing. I don't know if it's mass. Maybe I should have said mass producing. Because it's like I'm over like the multiple clones of one fragrance. Like I'm over the 15 variations of like an Aventus or like the 15 variations of like a Baccarat. Or even now where we're getting like the 15 variations of like the Lamel Elixir. That's more so what I'm saying. Like I'm kind of tapped out on that part of things. The fragrance community are like crackheads constantly chasing their next big high. We are the Pookies in New Jack City. Hey yo. Hey yo. Hey, that's a different one. That's a different one right there. I'm right with that. That was funny. All right. Let's get into it, man. All right, let's talk about this Justin part. Let's talk about this Justin thing. Let me go over here. Where do I even have that video at? Justin. Let's talk about my guy, Justin. No diss to him whatsoever. So this is no shade. We trying to figure out what the big deal is. My guy said the true reason I don't recommend dupe brands in my videos. So we're gonna see what he has to talk about. This is a 15-minute video. I'm gonna let you know right now. We not about to watch all 15 minutes. We not. I'm about to skim through this a little bit. We gonna tap into the first 2 minutes. I'm gonna try not to pause it or anything. We're gonna watch, and then from there, we're gonna get to spit. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Let's get active. Let me know if y'all can hear this also.
This I can say with confidence. One person or company seizing in.
Hey, let me know 1 or 2 in the chat if y'all can hear that audio. 1 if you can hear the audio. If you could hear Justin's voice, give me a 1 when that was playing, please. Give me a 1 if you can hear Justin's voice.
One person or company seizing inspiration from another person or company is nothing new, and under certain circumstances, totally legal. So the ultimate question is that I get asked all the time, Justin, why are you so against outright fragrance dupes? Why don't you recommend them? Before I dive into that, I need
Hey, give me a 1 in the chat. Can y'all hear the video? I bet y'all some real ones. Thank you. Let's get active.
to dive into some names and some numbers. First, let's talk about what I call copies from well-known brands. I'm just using a few examples here. First example, as you'll see in this comment that was asking a very poignant question, Raja Parfum. It is a well-known fact that many of Raja Parfum's fragrances, I wouldn't say a majority of them, but many of them do resemble other fragrances in the market, other well-known iconic designer or niche fragrances from houses with a lot of heritage and prestige. Now granted, I do believe that Raja has done his own thing. He's kind of imposed his own aesthetic and touch on these fragrances that yes, do resemble other scents. And people ask me, what do I think of that? Do I think that's cloning? Do I think that's duping? Do I think that's drawing inspiration? Clearly, these are not necessarily original fragrances. However, as I observe it, that behavior does not define the entirety of the brand. Raja Parfum as a brand is not out here just trying to capitalize on all the most hottest popular fragrances, and definitely not on a regular basis. I feel like it's been quite a while since they released a fragrance that very closely resembled another fragrance, and it was pretty obvious. Mancera. Lots of their fragrances have relation to other fragrances out there, even if they're not outright copies or dupes. We can easily call them inspirations, and there's a lot of them. If you just go through in Fragrantica and you look at this fragrance fragrance reminds me of this, you'll see a lot of crossover between other well-known fragrances in the industry with a lot of Mancera offerings. Not all of them, but I would say most of them are related to other things, but they still have their own aesthetic. They still smell within the Mancera umbrella. And our last example in this category is Initio Parfum Privé, whatever they call them.
All right, man, we had the 2-minute mark, man. Let's get active, man. Okay, so one of the things that I have to ask is this, because he already said that they don't do outright. Understandable. Roja, Mancera, Initio, he said they don't do outright clones. They do more so twists and inspirations. Okay, I have a few fragrances on my table. Let's just look and see. I don't think I have anything that's like, yeah, most of these are like clones. So I do have a couple of clones. One thing that I really want to tap into about this is this. What's the difference from some of these, like a more higher price or a more niche or indie brand basically doing the same thing that a Lattafa Afnan is doing? Now, the one thing that I can say about this is Roja, Mancera, and Niche, they don't do it on the same level as a Lattafa. They don't quickly shoot them out. They don't quickly pause. They don't quickly push their fragrances out as fast as the clone brands. We can give it that, of course. But when it comes to the fragrance itself, he already said it. All they're doing is putting their own twist, their own artisan on a fragrance. Bro, I can't tell you how many times that Bond Number 9 has taken a fragrance that, and all they did was add their own inspirational twist or their own little take on some popular fragrances. It has happened so much more out there in the community to where I'm not really getting the full scope of why this has to be a call out. Now, I understand the one thing that I do appreciate about clone brands and fragrance companies like that is that they make it affordable to tap into DNAs that you would not be able to get otherwise. Louis Vuitton private blends, they make it so much more affordable to be able to tap into some of these affordable fragrances or these more niche, higher price fragrances. And a lot of times, sometimes, well, not a lot of times, but there's still a good majority of the time to where they still add their own inspirational twist. It's rare that we get fragrances, especially when it comes to like the Lattafas and the Middle Easterns, to where you can really say that this is a very much so a one of one. Like when you get YSL Fokker by Lattafa. First smell, you're going to know that this is in that YSL, YEDP vein. You're going to know that that's a clone. But at the same time, you have other fragrances that they put out that they much more so do a twist on. I always say it. A lot of times, these Middle Eastern brands, they'll take off what people dislike about the fragrance and add more positive qualities to it. So when it comes to being an outright clone or a twist inspiration, it's still I don't get what the problem is, because even though the major brands or the indie brands aren't doing it on the same level, they're still doing it. Just because I only just because I only slap you once a month while this other person is slapping you every week, once a week, don't mean you're not getting slapped. You still paying them fees. You still paying them fees. So now it all depends on what's the fee you want to pay. Do you want to pay a fee to have something that they list as a original, but it's much more so of a twist, and now you paying 3, 4, 5x your cost? Or would you much rather just get that thing that's gonna be in the same ballpark or a clone and pay a fifth of the original price? I'm going for the clone all day compared to having a bottle that might look good on my wall just to say I spent this amount of money. Because at the end of the day, I'm I'm still gonna be me. It don't matter what fragrance I put on. I'm still gonna be the one that gets the compliments. I'm still gonna be the one that showcases myself to the public and put myself out there. It's not gonna be the fragrance. A fragrance will never make me. I'm gonna make every fragrance that I put on. So I never understood the back and forth when it comes to, oh, I'm okay with Roja doing it. I'm okay with Mancera doing it because they might do a little twist or they might put a slight inspiration on it. Whereas these other and the crazy thing is, Latapa and some of these other Middle Eastern brands, they are getting master perfumers. Some of these brands, bro, they are getting perfumers to do these fragrances. It's not like somebody just in the lab just throwing shit together. No, some of these clone brands are using master perfumes, and you have to put respect on their name. You might not like it because it might oversaturate the market, whatever the case may be, but you have to put respect on their name because they are one creating a lane for people to have more access to this community within a whole. But then they are also, again, maintaining the same decorum that, for the most part, we've been getting since fragrances have been initiated. Again, Bond number 9, bro, what's the joint that Bond number 9 got a MJ Legend clone? Which one is it? Somebody let me know down in the chat. The one with the pineapple syrup thing. Like, it gives off pineapple syrup. Let me know. MJ Legend, Bond number 9 took a clone from that. Let me know. We're going to get back to the video. But I'm not tripping. They've done this before. Doesn't make financial sense, really, in my opinion.
They also have a lot of close relations, but no outright dupes. But there are some interesting lines being blurred when compared to Parfum de Marly. Now, Parfum de Marly and Initio, if you didn't know, are owned by the same parent company. That company is called Advent International. So if you go through a number of their popular fragrances, you'll see some crossover. You'll see that certain fragrances from Initio resemble certain fragrances from Parfum de Marly, and I don't think that's an accident. I think they're just kind of remixing and reusing what works on one side and moving it to the other, and they're just kind of exchanging them, all in the effort to continue the cash flow. Again, nothing new here. We all know this. Now, of the 3 brands I just shared with you, Raja Parfum is the only brand I really have, I'd say, an affinity for, at least historically.
I don't know, Santana. I don't know, fam. It's getting harder and harder to find original, unique creations, period. Companies using similar ingredients, they all smell the same. They do. But one of the things that I'm like, I'm going to take Marshaba from Latafel or Veneno from French Avenue. Those are cloning a Killian's joint. Those are cloning a Killian's. Bro, that apple shisha, I've never smelled that in a fragrance. Now I want more fragrances that have shisha in it. They can get creative. They can, bro. It's people out here that can get creative with these fragrances. All fragrances don't have to smell the same, and they all don't have to be in that same vein of like mass appealing. They have the ability to come up with fragrance, and I think that they're starting to do that. I'm starting to see a few more like new and unique creations, especially when it comes to like, again, Neve's line, very unique fragrances. So I'm starting to see differences for sure, but at the same time, it's very much so mass appeal, fam.
I have a lot of their fragrances. Many of them I really respect and love. A lot of their newer stuff, honestly, I don't really care for that much. They've kind of gone in a different direction, but I respect a lot of the perfumery that has come out of that brand. Mancera, I have a few of their offerings. I enjoy them.
At times I wonder, is that the main thing? Just the respect of the brands and what they're doing, where you might consider, oh, they might have taken out something in one fragrance and made it a twist. I can respect that. I don't get I don't get how much of a difference that is compared to what the clone fragrances are doing. That's basically the main thing. Look, PDM be doing a lot of copying too. I see you, Ken. I see you. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get it. I'm trying to get to the point. I might have to fast forward this a little bit.
Again, they all kind of resemble other things to me, but it actually doesn't bother me because they are different enough. And they, again, have a cohesiveness to them as far as the brand goes. Initio, honestly, I've never measure up to me as far as quality. They always leave me with something to be desired, a certain hollowness to them. I definitely prefer Parfum de Marly over Initio, but even Parfum de Marly's current direction is not necessarily exciting me either, but I have a number of their offerings that I really enjoy and will always have and talk about on this channel. Let's move on to another category. I'm calling it Luxury Inspiration.
When you're hold on, luxury inspiration. Let's see what this might be the answer that we're looking for right here.
And these are brands where a majority of their fragrances are really eerily close to other popular fragrances out there. They're kind of modeling them. Now, not every brand does this in the same way. The first one I'll talk about is Algabra. I love
I'm just gonna fast forward, bro. I'm just gonna fast forward a little bit. You gotta get to it. Gotta get to it. What's these numbers for?
new collection that they are now marketing, but nothing in 2025 just yet. Amouage. They've gotten a little busier than normal in the past few years, but still nothing crazy. They put out 5 new fragrances last year in 2024, and they've put out 6 so far in the past, and we'll get to that a little bit later, but it's reasonable. Now let's get into the meat of the argument. Dedicated clone or dupe brands. And these are brands where a majority or all of their fragrances are intended to be copies, dupes, clones. They are trying to be other fragrances out there, sometimes even making bottles that resemble those.
Hey man, hold on. Now, hey, shout out to the B.O.B. gang, shout out to the Proud of You Absolute, you know what I'm saying? Hey, they got the Naxos joint over there by Paris Corner. Look, I mean, that one cool, but it's a lot. They got suits up in here. Now, I will say, I've always been a fan of the bottles, but I understand the need to not clone a one-of-one bottle. As long as they clone a one-of-one bottle, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be buying. But I understand that that's something that you cannot do, because that's a very... Now, I think of... Me personally, I somewhat more so look at the bottle as a creative thing than the fragrance, because the bottle is something you can actually create yourself, but it's kind of hard to say that, oh, I created this fragrance, I mixed this together, I did... Like, because it's subjective. Because it can smell differently to different people. But like when you start doing this with the bottles, it's like, you know what I'm saying? People be clowning like they hate it. I'm not gonna. I be the person in the back, just quiet, because I don't want nobody to know that I'm trying to find a clone brand that might be doing one-of-one bottles like this too. Shit is dope to me. I like it.
Fragrances, but they're just trying to really capitalize on that market share, and they're doing it instantaneously. A new fragrance drops, within a few months we have a dupe. I think that behavior is pretty telling of motivation. Again, we'll get to all that here in a second, but here are just a few of these brands that you know, and I'm going to share some numbers with you, and these numbers were a little bit staggering to me, and I hope they kind of start to illuminate my point here. Let's start with the House of Lattafa. In 2025, so far up to August, they've released 25 new fragrances. All right, and if we go back to 2024, they put out a total of 50 plus new fragrances just last year. Busy. Rasasi, they've been fairly quiet this year, even though they did just launch a whole bunch of new Hawass fragrances all at one time. And that's always a little suspect to me. I'm like, man, you got all these all at once, like 3, 4, 5 new ones, just bam, just like that. But all in all,
hold on, man. We can't act like they ain't had us in the lab. We can't act like they didn't have us in the lab and knew that they was gonna be. You know what I'm saying? You can always prepare as a brand for a major launch. And I'm sorry, with how quiet Rasasi was somewhat at the beginning of the year, you could kind of see that something was going to be coming down the pipeline. Now, I'm not saying quiet, but it was like they had the Hawass couple at first. It was like they almost tested those first Hawass to see how they would be. And then now it's like, boom, let me get y'all 4 of them. Because we already knew we were going to drop it. I don't know, man. Lattafa been busy. I ain't knocking it. I ain't knocking Rasasi. Like, I'm with it.
They've only released 9 new fragrances this year so far. I'm sure there's more to come before the end of the year. However, last year in 2024, they released 70 plus new fragrances to the market. You do with that what you will. And let's get to the big kahuna. Honestly, my sights weren't really set on this brand for the last several years until I started looking at the numbers, until I went on Fragrantica and I looked at, first of all, since 2015, this brand has released over 1,800 new fragrances to the market. I feel like that's a...
What brand do y'all think that is? Can't be Lattafa because he already talked about it. I wonder what brand. I have not one idea what brand this could be. If it's not Lattafa, I wouldn't even know. I couldn't think. Armaf? No, I doubt it.
Record. There's brands that have been around a couple hundred years that don't come close to that. So, okay, last year in 2024, they put out 60 plus new fragrances. So far in 2025, just up to August, we still got a few months before the end of the year. I was astounded while I was counting. I was scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Dua Fragrances is who we're talking about. Dua has released over...
I can't speak on this. I don't have a single Dua fragrance. I can't speak on it. I don't have a single Dua fragrance, so I can't speak on that. I can't. I was thinking that same thing, Ken.
140 new fragrances in 2025 alone. It's just August. So Wow. I'm not going to get emotional about it. I just want to present a
Let's go
bit of a
to
mood.
let's go to the
Imagine
let's
being
get,
able to build an app with your name on it.
let's just get to the end because I want to get to the end of it. I want to see what the true reason for it.
Conclusion. So what is my answer to this question? Why am I so against outright dupes?
Coach, I'm telling you right now, man, I was trying to figure it out myself. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what's the point. Like, get to the point real quick. I'm trying to figure out the point.
Especially the brands that focus on them. Why don't I recommend them? Well, the reason for me has morphed over time. If you asked me a few years ago, it was purely about the infringement and abandonment of original art in perfumery. And while that is still a concern to me, and
That's one thing I can't knock him for. And I'm not saying that I feel the same way, but I had a feeling that he would. Like I've watched a few Justin videos. You can tell that he's very passionate about what he talks to, especially when he speaks on the artisan aspect of fragrances. Like even the fragrances that he talks about, he really doesn't like when he talks about like a basic designer fragrance, things like that. Like you can tell he's somewhat hates those. Kind of like Bowtie when he talks about clone fragrance, you can tell that he kind of, especially back then, you can tell that they really didn't like it. Now, especially, it makes sense. With Justin still very much so prefers his indie, his fragrances that are very unique. That you kind of got to go to a boutique to go to like to get like most of the fragrances that he probably gets. You're not even gonna be able to order online. You're gonna have to go inside a boutique and sample first. Like you might be getting from France, Paris type shit. You know what I'm saying? So like I get where he's coming from with the artisan aspect of something. Does that mean that I agree with it? Absolutely not. Because just like what he said in the beginning, some of these fragrance companies, they're just doing twists. They're just doing inspirations. Now, he does have a point to where when he points out that Latapa and like 60 Dua making 160 dupes in a year, cool, I get that. My thing is this. There ain't even been 160 new releases this year from the designer and niche world. So it's like, are they just getting like if they're cloning a my thing is if a brand is cloning a fragrance that's old and trying to add something new to it, I'm not complaining over that at all. Even if they want to clone something that just came out, I don't know, man. I'm trying to figure out the issue with this. I don't see the issue with this. I just think that there are true people out there that are have somewhat of a greater than thou complexion because they're able or they feel the need to go out and buy a $300 bottle where there's certain people that's very comfortable with buying the $40 version. Give me the clone, give me the inspiration, give me the twist. It's rare that there are $400 fragrances out there. Gambit from Mind Games was one that I absolutely had to get when I first got my nose on. But even then, it's still rare that it's like as much as I love Leighton from Parfums Mind, I have yet to feel the need to go buy a bottle of that. It's too many clones, too many inspirations. I can get too close to DNA to where nobody else is going to think that, oh, you got on Detour Noir. No, it doesn't happen that way. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just a individual thing. I definitely think it's much more so an individual thing. I don't understand what the big deal is when it comes to like affordable brands. I'm sorry. I'm just not seeing it. Shalom, my guy. Much love. I appreciate you, fam. Let's see what we got. Let's get back into it. I want to tap one more thing real quick. They came to dupe fragrances because of the algorithm. They are still dupe snobs. Justin, Bowtie, Red Lesson, etc. I believe I can see that. I can see it. There's a lot of money over here in this side of things. So if you're trying to get your coins up, you can definitely do that on this side of it. So I'm not knocking what you're saying at all, man. Make sure you hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hey, I don't know, man. I just think it gets to a point to where definitely buy what you like. I definitely do think that the market is oversaturated. I still say test if you can. If you got a fragrance shop that does clones like the ones that I showcase in DFW, tap into those because you can go in there and sample. You will never have to buy an affordable fragrance if you can find a shop in your area. I got like 3 of them out here. Boy, I love it. It's good out here in Texas, man. It's good out here. But hey, we probably about to get up out of here, man. Let me know, was this stream a W or L? Was y'all rocking with this? I feel like this was a great stream. I love how active we were in there. The comments were popping. I'm loving the conversations that we were able to have in the chat as well. So for sure, I have a lot of clones, but that's still only about 10% of my collection. That's what's up, man. And that's the thing. Like, I feel like if you're not a reviewer, you got to get what you like. You got to get what you like. That doesn't mean that the clone fragrances are always going to be like the top ones, because they're in my opinion, there's very much so some designers, niche and indie fragrances that, in my opinion, they just can't be cloned. They can't. Like Argos. How you gonna clone an Argos fragrance? I'm waiting for somebody to clone an Argos fragrance. I am begging somebody to clone some Argos. Sacred Flame, Porom, Triumph or Bacchus, whichever one. I don't care. I'm begging somebody to make a damn, but that ADHD be kicking my ass sometimes. I just forgot. Argos, yeah. That Argos shit. Yeah, that Argos, yeah, boy. I need somebody to make an Argos clone. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see. And that's where it's like, that's why I think it's a little bit different. Like, if you want to be a snob with fragrances, get fragrances that can't be cloned or that have not been cloned. Like, it's one thing to wear, like LB, they got fragrances, $400, $500, $600, but every single one of them can be cloned. Can you clone an Argos? Can you clone a Mind Games? You know what I'm saying? Can you clone something like that? Even though I know the Mind Games got a lot of Banana Republic stuff. I'm not the same perfume. I'm not tripping over that at all. What I'm saying is, can you clone something that is not mass appeal? Can you clone some City Rhythms? You know what I'm saying? Can you do that? Like, because then that's when we can talk about being a not a snob, but like somebody who understands a little bit differently. Because just because you have a lot of LV in your collection doesn't mean, to me, I don't see how that makes you better than somebody. I don't see the comparison between the two. All it shows me that you just got more money, but you just spend it on. You're willing to spend your money on a bottle that you can get 10 different versions of. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a little different. I guess it just depends. Nobody has clone fragrances only. We got original too. Facts. Hold on, Ricky. Let me see. Yeoman Leia got an Argos clone. Man, stop lying. I ain't never known you to lie, Rick. What's the name of it? Let me know. What's the name of it? Let me know. I would love to tap into that. Because I know Yeoman Leia, they got like a lot of parfums. I know they got a lot of inspirations for sure. I did not know that they had any Argos. So if they got some Argos, let me know. Let me know. Come on, Rick. Let me know in the chat. I'm waiting. Just let me know which one or the name of it. I'm going to have to look it up. LV is definitely mass appealing. Facts. They are. Mass appealing with a crazy ass price tag. I don't see how you can give somebody citruses, ginger, and woods and still charge $600. Like, that's like, come on, man. I'm just saying. But look, we're about to get up out of here, man. We're about to head out. I hope y'all enjoyed the stream. W's down in the chat. If this was a W, I greatly appreciate everybody that came in together. Fragcom is about respect to each other, not bashing each other. Justin, hey, facts. And I hope nothing that I said nobody took as bashing, because I didn't think that I was bashing anybody. I just definitely thought I was having an opinion. So let me know what y'all think. I greatly appreciate it, man. We're about to get up out of here. We will be back tomorrow for another show. Y'all have a great day, man. Big salutes to everybody in the chat, man. I'm holler at y'all later. Y'all be blessed.